So I think many of us have been there, right? You've tried to send money internationally, or maybe you've just taken a look at your savings account.
And realized it's earning practically nothing.
Exactly. It just makes you feel like the traditional financial system is so slow, it's expensive, and everything is just frustratingly siloed.
Right. And while digital finance promises to fix all that, trying to navigate the technology can feel, pretty overwhelming.
Which is why our mission today is to give you the ultimate shortcut. We're doing a deep dive into the Krak app. It's this really ambitious project that's aiming to be an all-in-one financial app.
Yeah.
We've pulled together all the sources to figure out how it's trying to blend traditional payments with digital assets and, what that actually means for you.
And I think we need to establish the foundation here right away.
Yeah.
Because this isn't just some shiny new fintech startup that appeared overnight.
Cool point.
Krak is developed by Payward, Inc. Now, that's the parent company of the huge crypto exchange, Kraken.
So they have history.
A long history. They're bringing over a decade of infrastructure, regulatory experience, and a serious security background with him.
That credibility is key. So what we're really examining is this solution that's designed to merge the speed of crypto with the, I guess, robustness of established finance. They're really setting out to be a borderless alternative to the payment apps and banks that, let's be honest, most of us still rely on.
Okay.
Let's unpack this. Let's start where it really matters for most people. The core mechanics of just moving money. The biggest headache is usually global P2P payments, person to person.
Absolutely. The old system, whether it's a wire transfer or even just trying to move crypto between two different platforms, it is riddled with complexity.
Oh, yeah.
You're hunting for IBANs or SWIFT codes where that incredibly long string of random characters that's a crypto wallet address.
And the fear of sending your money to the wrong place is...
very real.
It's incredibly high.
So how does Krak address that? The sources say they're offering global P2P payments in, over 160 countries? 160, yeah. The scope is just immense. But that's not even the genius part.
Okay.
The real aha moment for the user is how they've simplified the transaction itself. They introduce this personalized username. And they call it the @Krak tag.
The @Krak tag, right.
So instead of dealing with all those bank details or complex addresses, you just use the person's tag. It's easy to remember.
So it just abstracts away all the technical stuff, whether you're sending euros or Bitcoin or whatever.
Exactly. To you, the user, it just feels like sending a quick text to a friend.
And the sources really emphasize that these transfers are designed to arrive in seconds. Now, that kind of speed immediately makes me ask about the usual problems, especially fees. You can't be that fast and borderless without running into some kind of conversion costs.
You're right to be critical. I mean, the industry has basically trained us to expect surprise fees hidden somewhere.
So what's their claim?
Their big claim is 0 hidden fees on those transfers. And this is where the how, the underlying financial model, becomes really important.
Okay, 0 hidden fees sounds great. But they have to be making money somewhere, right? How does the platform actually monetize if it's moving money around the globe for free?
It does. And what's fascinating here is their push for transparency and trust. While they promise 0 transfer fees, the key detail is that they make money on the conversion spread.
The spread. Okay, break that down.
The spread is just that tiny difference between the buying price and the selling price of whatever currency or asset is being converted. But the crucial part is they show it to you up front.
Ah, so before you hit send.
Exactly. So you know precisely what the cost is and what the other person is going to get before you confirm the transaction. It's their answer to all that frustration with traditional wires, where the fees are buried in fine print.
It definitely feels less adversarial knowing the cost before you commit. But it makes me wonder, if you can send money that fast with just a tag, how do they handle something like a mistake or chargebacks? That stuff usually needs the slow machinery of traditional banking to sort out.
And that really speaks to the big challenge of instant payments. Because a lot of these transfers, especially with crypto, are basically immutable. They're final. So the risk shifts a bit to the user to make sure that tag is correct. But for this to work as a consumer product, Krak has to be leveraging that whole Payward and Kraken foundation to build in really sophisticated compliance and customer service, especially where fiat money is involved. That's where the rules around reversals are much stricter. It's a constant balancing act, speed versus safety.
Okay, so once you grasp that you can send money to 160 countries with just a simple tag, the next question is obvious. What can I actually hold in this wallet? Let's talk about the multi-asset power, because this is where the app really starts to look different from your standard payment app. It's not just a few major currencies.
Not at all.
Users can hold, convert, send, over 300 different fiat currencies, stablecoins, and crypto assets. I think some sources even suggested they're pushing towards 400.
The sheer breadth of assets is the core value proposition. It means you're not locked into one currency. If someone sends you Australian dollars, you can hold them as Australian dollars, or you could instantly convert them to a stablecoin or maybe to Bitcoin, all in one place.
Ready to use.
Ready to use. And that leads directly into why you'd even want to keep your assets there in the first place, the earning opportunities.
Right.
For eligible users who want their money to actually work for them, the app integrates ways to generate yield.
Yeah.
And it's a yield that's often totally unattainable in a normal savings account.
This is where it gets really interesting. Can you walk us through the APY examples from the sources and, more importantly, explain what that yield actually is?
Okay, so we saw two main examples for eligible users. First, for stablecoin holdings, they're showing up to 4.1% APY on USDG stablecoin balances.
4.1%, already better than most banks.
Much better. Then, for those holding certain other digital assets, the potential earning rate goes up to 10% APY.
10%. That is a staggering number. But for our listener who might be new to this, we need to pause and clarify what a stablecoin even is and why that 10% isn't the same as a bank's guaranteed interest rate.
That is a critical question. So a stablecoin, like USDG, is a digital asset that's designed to hold a one-to-one value with a traditional currency, usually the US dollar. It's meant to give you the stability of fiat money, but with the speed of crypto.
Okay.
Now, that 4.1% yield, and especially the 10% yield, isn't just interest. It's achieved through things like staking or lending your assets out to the market.
So it's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed like FDIC insurance at a bank. These yields are dynamic, they depend on the market, they're subject to volatility, and they are definitely not protected by government insurance. That high return reflects a different risk profile.
So if market demand for borrowing that asset drops,
your yield drops too. So due diligence, really understanding that risk, is absolutely crucial before you jump into these earning programs.
That's a vital distinction. It's an attention-grabbing number, but you have to understand you're participating in a market, not just opening a savings account. So if the app encourages you to hold and earn with all these assets, the next big challenge is utility. How do you go from holding assets in the app to actually spending them on, say, a coffee?
And that is the critical bridge, the bridge between the digital world and the physical economy. And their answer is the upcoming rollout of the Krak card.
The Krak card. Okay.
This is the feature that really completes that all-in-one vision.
So tell us about it. What does it do?
It's planned as both a physical and a virtual card. And its whole purpose is seamless spending. It lets you use whatever funds you have in your app, fiat, crypto, stablecoins, at millions of merchants worldwide, basically anywhere a major card is accepted.
So the complex part happens behind the scenes.
Exactly. If you pay for that coffee and your main balance is in, say, Bitcoin, the app instantly does the conversion to the local currency right there at the point of sale. And that immediate conversion is what turns those digital assets into real-world spending power. It makes the app useful for daily life, not just for sending money across borders.
You know, the ultimate test for any tool like this is accessibility. For our listener who wants to understand this stuff without getting a degree in computer science, how user-friendly is it?
The whole design philosophy, from what we can see, is tailored for the general user, not just for, seasoned crypto traders.
Okay.
The app is built to be simple. The goal is to make the whole experience, holding, converting, sending, and spending, feel totally intuitive, even if you are brand new to crypto.
That idea of making something so complex feel as easy as sending a text message, that's really the key to getting mass adoption, isn't it?
It has to be.
But anytime we talk about technology that's managing this much money and all these dynamic assets, we have to pivot to the most important thing: trust and security.
And when you're blending banking-like features with digital assets, security has to be everything. It has to be paramount. Krak, because it's leaning on its parent company, Payword, talks a lot about its commitment to institution-grade security.
What does that term institution-grade actually mean in practice for a user?
Well, it goes way beyond the basics. Of course, it includes things like mandatory multi-factor authentication, or MFA.
Your two-step verification.
Right, your standard two-step process. But it's built on a foundation of industry-leading safety protocols. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you can see why this matters so much. They are leveraging over a decade of experience from Kraken in managing billions of dollars in volatile assets.
So what does that look like?
It means using advanced techniques like proprietary cold storage for the vast majority of assets, which keeps them offline and away from hackers. It means comprehensive compliance frameworks across different countries and rigorous internal audits. And this level of security is absolutely necessary because unlike your bank deposit, most of these digital assets are not protected by government insurance like the FDIC. Security is the foundation that makes all the speed and the yield possible. If people don't have absolute confidence that their assets are safe, the whole system just collapses.
That underlying security infrastructure, built on the back of Kraken's experience,
Yeah.
it really is the unsung hero that enables all this flexibility. So what does this all mean? We started this deep dive looking for a shortcut to understand this next wave of finance, and I think Krak really does represent a very ambitious, unified vision for that future.
It really does. It's a shortcut because it's designed to eliminate the two biggest points of friction in global finance: high hidden fees and those clunky, complicated account numbers.
Right.
By letting you transact across borders with hundreds of different assets, all secured by these high-level protocols, it really pushes the boundaries of accessibility while also offering these competitive ways to earn.
So you're earning yield on your money, with the necessary caution, of course. You're using a simple @Krak tag to send money instantly, and soon you'll be spending those assets anywhere with the Krak card. It's a really comprehensive vision for a single, unified financial life.
It just makes you realize how quickly the need for all that archaic data entry is starting to disappear.
And that leads us to our final provocative thought for you to take away from this deep dive. If an all-in-one financial app can successfully integrate hundreds of traditional currencies with high-yield digital assets, all using just a simple username like the @Krak tag, what future role, if any, will traditional bank account numbers play in global finance 10 years from now? Something for you to mull over as the world keeps shrinking and our financial identity keeps getting simpler.